Okay. Okay. Says I'm live. Okay. Yay. Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome to the finale of Sonic Frontiers. Last time, we spent an hour trying to beat the end, unsuccessfully. And we learned that after about a dozen attempts or so, the game gives pity on you. If you fail to beat the end the first dozen times or so, the game takes pity on you and gives you a third ship attempt. And after failing many more, after letting myself be killed in the final battle many more times, I was able to get many more ships. Apparently, the limit is 8. 8 ships, where you start off with 2 initially. So you can get 6 extra ships, and I waited around through like a good dozen extra after I got my 8th one just to see if there were any more, and there was not. So 8 is your limit, but even after you lose all your ships, you still have an extra attempt, one final attempt. So that means you have 9 attempts. Once you get to this point, you have 9 attempts. You can afford 9 screw-ups before you fail. And I have gotten to the point where I was before, and I actually just got past it. So I'm going to finish this off for you guys.
The end comes for you all.
Now or never!
Here's the lineup and the pitch! And there we go.
Please, look after Father.
And there we go.
Yes!
All right!
Oh. God. This scene always breaks my heart. Seeing Eggman so sad at losing his daughter. And then he clenches his fist like, no, I'm not losing her. I'm going to get her back. Ugh. God, I love it. And I can't skip this. Yeah. There's nothing I can do to skip it. Alright. Oh my god, you have no idea how... you have no idea how much of a pain in the ass that was. I hate that. I am never doing that again. I can tell you that right now. Even when I come back to replay this game, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be beating the final boss in hard mode. I'm just not. It's not worth it. It really isn't. It is. There is so much stress. There is so much stress. There is so much stress when doing it. It's just. It is not worth it. I hate it. It's awful. And I would rather just play the game on easy or normal mode and just beat the Supreme Titan and have the quick time event to beat the end, and that's it. Because that is more fun. That is more fun than having to play a bullet hell game. So yeah. And I love this song. First time I heard this song, when I played this game for the first time, and I heard this song after watching Sage die, I actually cried. I legit cried. This is one of my favorite games to come out of this year. Well, no, to come out of last year. This is one of my favorite games to come out of 2022. I absolutely adore this game. Like this was like one of my top 2 picks for 2022. It was this and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Those were like my 2 favorite games to come out of 2022. A lot of great games came out in 2022. We got a lot of fantastic games that came out that year. But those 2 were like my favorites to come out of. Those 2 were my favorites to come out of last year. Like, I really hope eventually I will have. I really hope that I will eventually be able to get proper recording equipment so I can actually record Nintendo games, because I would love to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on my channel. I would love to play Super Mario 3D World. I would love to play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I would love to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I would love to play the Pikmin games. All of the Pikmin games. I recently bought Pikmin 1+2. I recently bought Pikmin 1+2, so now I have all of the Pikmin games. I have all of the mainline Pikmin games. I have all of the mainline Pikmin games now, and I love the 4th one. And the 4th Pikmin game is the only Pikmin game I've ever played. So I'm excited to jump into the other 3. Let's go ahead and watch this cutscene.
So, that was fun. But I guess it's time we got moving. I know you all have big plans.
You're gonna hardly recognize me when we see each other again.
I wonder if Cream and Sticks are free.
Make a road trip out of it.
It'll be good to get back to my island. At least for a while.
We're wasting daylight. Let's go.
And there we go. One-way dream. Oh my god, this is... Nate wants to battle. I was so happy. I was so happy to learn that he made one of the songs in this game. So, but yeah, so I would love to play some Nintendo games. Like all those games I mentioned, and then of course, Zelda. Just Zelda games. All of them. Or at least all of the 3D Zelda games. I would love to play all of those. I would love to play all of those. Especially Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, those four especially, I would love to play all of them on my channel. Like, I desperately want to play them on my channel, like, so badly. I love the Zelda franchise so much. Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, like, those are all like my favorite video game franchises. I absolutely adore them. And beyond that, I would also love to play older games too. I really hope I get the chance to play older games as well. One game I would... some of the games I would love to play include like some of the old school Disney games from the PS1 and PS2 era. Same thing with some of the old school Nickelodeon games from that same era. Because I remember growing up on that stuff. I grew up on those games, and I would love to play them on the channel at some point, as well as the Pac-Man World games. Now, the first Pac-Man World did get a remake on the PS4, and I do plan on playing that eventually. But the one that I really grew up playing as a kid was Pac-Man World 2. That's the one I played so much of as a kid. I played that so much as a kid, and I would love to be able to play that on my channel. So I'm hoping that eventually I will be able to once I have the proper equipment. But, you know, trying to save up for that while also having to pay a lot of bills is not easy. It takes forever to save up for anything. So, it really sucks. But I still have plenty of games that I can play in the meantime. There's still plenty of PS4 and PS5 games I can play. I've got the entirety of the Naruto Storm game franchise on the back burner that I can play, that I can start playing. Same thing with all of the Sword Art Online games that I can play. So, not to mention, like, there are several Lego games available on the PS4 and PS5, and I grew up loving the Lego games. So, there are plenty of games that I can play in the meantime. So, there's not going to be any shortage of games for me to play. So, but, I would love to be able to skip this, get to the after credit scene, and then, so that way I can just, you know, talk about my final thoughts. Because, like, I could do that during the credits, but, like, I don't know. This is not visually appealing for giving final thoughts. But it's okay. The credits are almost over. Morio Kishimoto. Thank you, Kishimoto-san, for giving us such a wonderful game. Okay, time for the last cutscene. Right? No. No. Okay. Thank you for playing. Thank you. Thank you for giving us such a wonderful game.
Father?
That's my girl.
Save this game, clear data? Yes. Ah. $14 hours and 43 minutes. Okay. I am going to get up to the top of this pyramid. Okay, sure. All right. Okay, so now, while looking upon my army of Cocos, what time are we at? We're just over 19 minutes. Okay. Good. Time to give my final thoughts for not only this game, but also all of the DLC. Now, I already, if I remember correctly, I already gave my final thoughts on the base game. But what I said still holds true. This game is phenomenal. I love this game so much. It is so much fun. I have a blast playing it. It is exactly what I wanted. It is exactly what little AC wanted. This is exactly what little AC wanted when he was a kid. Just wanted a big open space to run around as Sonic and be fast. Just a massive open area to explore and fight bad guys along the way. maybe solve some puzzles, do some tricks in the air, grind on rails, all in this big open area. Like, that's exactly what I wanted out of an open world Sonic game. This is exactly what I wanted, what I have waited 20 years for. So, I waited over 20 years. Like, let's see, when was the... If I remember correctly, I think I was 10 when Sonic Adventure 1 came out. It was 1998. It was 1998. Okay, I was... When did the... Okay, it was DX, Sonic Adventure Director's Cut, that came out in 2003. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, but yeah, I already told the story about how I was at a friend's house. I was at somebody else's house, and they had Sonic Adventure, and I got to play it. And I just could not get past that first small area in the first stage. I just kept running around that one area because that's all I wanted. I just wanted a game where I could run around as Sonic and be fast. And that was a little 5-year-old me. I was 5. It's been 25 years. It was 24 years by the time this game came out. It had been over 24 years of waiting. And this game was worth it. 100% worth it. I absolutely adore it. And I love the updates. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about these updates. Update 1 gave us the two bonus modes, gave us the cyberspace challenge and the boss rush mode. I mean, if you really like the cyberspace stages, and you like, trying to beat your time and all that stuff, and get S rank and all that stuff, then you could probably have a lot of fun with that. I personally don't. I like the cyberspace stages, but I don't like them enough that I care to S rank them all. I don't care enough to S rank all of them. The boss rush mode, that could be that turned out to be a pretty fun challenge. I was expecting that to be a lot more annoying, but that turned out to be a pretty fun challenge. And then there was like the music box. The music box and all the different music tracks, that was great. That was a wonderful addition. I loved that. And then there was also the action chain challenges. Which I'm pretty sure was part of the first update. No, that was the second update. That was the second update. Let's see. It was photo mode. Photo mode is what was given to us. Photo mode is what was the other thing that was given to us in DLC 1. DLC 2 had more music notes, the large Cocos, and the action chain challenges. And the action chain challenges, I was actually dreading that when I first heard about that. I thought that was going to be super annoying and super tough. They're easy. Those are super easy. If you know the if you know the right tricks to getting the high multipliers super quickly, then yeah, you can easily get those like first or second try without much effort. And it is 100% worth it for the spin dash. The spin dash makes it 100% worth it to go after the S ranks for those. And as some of the platforming challenges for the big Cocos, these guys, some of them are so annoying, and I hated doing them. But I cannot deny having the having like 4 extra stamina wheels on top of your initial one is just amazing. Having 5 stamina wheels, you never run out of stamina, ever. And there's no reason to ever use the infinite stamina, stamina loop, because you'll never run out of stamina anyway. It's just amazing. I loved it. It's so awesome to just spin around, to just roll around at the speed of sound. And I also really enjoy the different cosmetics that you get. I love the little birthday hats that you can give the Cocos. I love how you can transform them into eggs for around Easter time. I love how you can make it so that all of the islands have birthday aesthetics, and all of Sonic's friends and Sonic himself has birthday aesthetics. And I love how you can give him 2 sets of armor that are references to Monster Hunter. And I love how he has a little...
Grab the gears, grab the keys, grab the emeralds, then seize the day.
Thank you, Sonic. And I love the Christmas outfit that that there is. And I love the... I do love the adventurer boots. The adventurer boots and gloves, which, to me, very clearly it's meant to be a reference to the adventurer boots and gloves that he has in Sonic Lost World during the Zelda DLC. Like, it's a slightly different shade. The boots and gloves are a slightly different shade than they were in that game, and the design is a little different, but it is strikingly similar to that. And I feel like that is meant to be I feel like that's what these are supposed to be. They're supposed to be a reference to that, because this is supposed to be Sonic's answer to Breath of the Wild. That's what this game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be Sonic's answer to Breath of the Wild, so it would make sense to have a reference to Zelda in this game. And in this case, it's the adventurer gloves and boots. So, yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see it, anyway. That's how I interpret this. But, yeah, I love all of the different outfits. And then there's also the grind shoes. There's the grind shoes from Sonic Adventure, which I do not have on the PS5 version. I only have that on the PS4 version, because I only had Sonic Frontiers on the PS4 when it first came out, because I didn't have a PS5 at the time, and I had pre-ordered the PS4 version and got the code to get the grind boots for the PS4 version, and yeah, I was able to get it on the PS4 version, but not the PS5 version. I was not able to get the code for that. So I unfortunately do not have the grind boots on the PS5 version. It's only on the PS4 version that I have it. But regardless, I still love all of the different outfits that there are in this game. Now that said, now that we've talked about now that we've talked about the outfits and the outfits that we've gotten through DLC and the first 2 DLC expansions, let's talk about the 3rd DLC expansion. The one that I will not be doing. I will not be doing for one reason. It's too damn difficult. The difficulty curve for the 3rd DLC is insane. It is absolutely insane, the difficulty curve. I tried on my own. I tried to beat it on my own just to see what exactly would go into the 3rd DLC. My initial plan was to beat it first. That way I have an idea of what I'm doing, and then play through it in my playthrough. That way I know what I'm doing, and it won't take ages to do. But no, I can't do it. Here's the thing. With the 3rd DLC, with the Final Horizon DLC, you have to be a pro Sonic player in order to beat it. The Final Horizon DLC is not for casual players. It was literally not designed for casual players. It was designed for pro players. If you're a casual player, you're not gonna beat it. If you're a casual player, you will never beat it. You have to be a pro player in order to actually beat it. And I am not a pro player. I will never be a pro player. I am a casual player, and that's what I want to be. I don't want to be a pro player. I don't want to dedicate hundreds of hours of my life to becoming one of the best at a single game. I'd rather be adequately decent at a lot of games than be one of the best at a single game, you know? I am a casual player through and through, and so the DLC is not made for me. It is just not made for me. I am not good enough to beat it. If Sega ends up giving us an update to this game, if they decide to give us one final free update to this game that makes the Final Horizon DLC easier, if they decide to do that, then I could see myself coming back to this game and doing the Final Horizon DLC. If Sega decides to do that. But given how the Final Horizon DLC was meant to be the final update to the game, I highly doubt they have any intention of doing that. Most likely, it's just going to be that difficult, and if you're a casual player, well, fuck you. Sega basically is just giving the middle finger to casual players, saying, fuck you, you're not good enough to play our game, become a pro, then you can beat our game. So, that's the way it feels like to me, anyway. But regardless of the gameplay, I have watched all the cutscenes for the Final Horizon, so I know what the story is. And I gotta say, I love the story. I already loved this story. Yeah, I already loved the story in the base game. But you learn so much more about the Ancients, and more specifically the pilots that piloted the Divine Beasts. And you learn what their names are. You learn the names of the different pilots, because you have to do their trials. And so they end up saying things like Dragon's Trial, Snake's Trial, and so on. Let's see, it's Dragon, Snake, Crane, and Tiger, I believe. Dragon's Trial. Dragon is the pilot of Giganto. Snake, if I'm remembering correctly, Snake is the pilot of Wyvern. Tiger is the pilot of Night, and Crane is the pilot. It was the pilot of the Supreme Titan. And then after you've beaten all of those, you have to beat the Master King. You have to beat the Master King, the leader of all the ancients. He's the leader of all of the ancients, and you have to beat his trial. Meanwhile, with Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, you have to find the different Chaos Emeralds, find a way to get to them, and deactivate the force fields that are protecting them. For Amy, you got to track down the emeralds. For Knuckles, you smash your way through enemies in order to get to the emeralds, and as Tails, you hack the force fields in order to nab the emeralds. That's the long and short of it, basically. You do that for 3 emeralds, and then you take on all 4 tower challenges as Sonic, and then you get 3 more emeralds as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and then as Sonic you go face the 5th and final trial with Master King, and then once you've done that, that's when it gets to the new final boss. And then we see Cyber Sonic. We see Sonic's newest transformation, a cyber-infused version of Super Sonic. And then, as the fight continues, we see Sonic completely change into what a lot of fans are starting to call Cyber Sonic.
Explore. Harvest all you need from the island to succeed.
Shut up and...
Seek the one you call Elder Coco to enhance your speed and vitality. Seek the one you call Hermit Coco to exchange one for the other, or make him offerings to raise your strength and resilience. Use your companions to better navigate the island. Enter the purple portals to find the keys and resources you need. All will aid you in your journey.
You done? Okay. So anyway. So yeah. So once you've done that, yeah, you end up seeing Cyber Sonic, and that transformation is so cool. It looks absolutely incredible. It looks so badass. I don't think we'll ever get to see it again, to be honest. I feel like this was a one and done transformation, considering how, the end is the thing that was causing the corruption in the first place, and given how Sonic destroys it, I feel like that would destroy any semblance of the corruption, and thus any need to use the power of cyberspace. So I feel like we probably won't get to see Cyber Sonic anymore. That was probably a one and done transformation. But the fact that they did give us a new transformation, which is something we haven't seen in years. Like, I think the last time we saw like a different form for Sonic is Sonic Unleashed with the Werehog. I think that was the last time we actually got to see a new form of Sonic. And even then, that's not even like a powered up form. That wasn't even a powered up form. If you want to say like a powered up form, like an alternate version of Super Sonic, then you'd have to go back even further to Sonic and the Secret Rings. With the form that he ends up getting, at the end of that game, which I forget the name of that, the name of that power up. But yeah, like it's been that long since we had an alternate version of Super Sonic, an alternate powered up Sonic that wasn't just Super Sonic. It's crazy. We've waited so long to get another form for Sonic, and yeah, it sucks if it's a one and done thing, but hopefully this means that Sega is starting to open the doors to having more forms for Sonic. So, and then there's the ending. The ending of the third DLC. He beats it, everyone goes home, yay, that's great. But here's the best part. Sage doesn't die. Sage lives in the Final Horizon DLC. Sage lives in the Final Horizon DLC. I am so happy about that. I'm so incredibly happy. She lives, and then Eggman just holds out his hand for her and says, "Let's go home, daughter." And she's just like, "Home? Yes, I would like that very much, father." And like, I hear that and my heart just, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. I loved it so much. I love Sage. She is just the best character we've gotten from the Sonic series since Blaze the Cat. Like, no joke. She is a absolutely wonderful character. I absolutely adore her. So, I absolutely love the story of the DLC. I love the story of the DLC. And, It is a wonderful final. The story of the Final Horizon is a wonderful addition to this game. If only the Final Horizon DLC was, easier. But you know what? I'm still happy with the game we've got. And if I want to see the story of the DLC, I can always just look it up on YouTube. So, but with that said, knowing my thoughts on all of the DLC, all 3 massive DLC updates, as well as the mini updates that gave us all these different costumes, what is my final verdict for the game? Music. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for music. Absolutely love it. I do personally really love the different music, the different music tracks for the base game, and I'm not talking just the different boss songs, the various boss songs. I'm also talking about the music that plays when you're simply running around the map. It's very somber and very relaxing. It's very somber, very relaxing, and it makes me feel good. Running around, listening to that beautiful music while I'm running around. It's very nice. I do like it. The music, the songs for the bosses, phenomenal. Absolutely wonderful. All of the music tracks we get across the different DLCs, absolutely wonderful. Love every single one of them. They're fantastic. I love every single one of them. They're fantastic. So music 10 out of 10. Absolute wonderful. Absolute masterpiece of a absolute masterpiece of a set number of tracks. They're all fantastic. Story, 10 for story, 10 out of 10. Absolutely love the story. Absolutely love the story. I mean, I've already talked about what I love about the story, so I don't really think I need to explain it anymore. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for story as well. I do love the story. Characters, Sonic is incredible in this. I love Sonic in this. He's very mature. I love how throughout this game you really get a sense of Sonic's maturity, that he's been doing this for years and he's grown. He's more adult now. He's very mature now. And you get the same thing with Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. They all feel a lot more mature. They feel like they're older. Like they've been through so much. They've had so many experiences, and it's made them better. It's made them better people, better characters. They've truly evolved and changed, and that's wonderful. I love how Knuckles doesn't necessarily lose his temper anymore. He doesn't lose his temper at the drop of a hat. Now he can actually keep his calm for a while. And normally when he gets mad, it's because he's trying to defend one of his friends. And that's wonderful. That's awesome. He's come a long way since only caring about the Master Emerald. Now he has valuable friends that he does not want to lose, and he will get mad if anyone tries to attack his friends. And that's great. And Amy, she's come a long way since being just the girl who chases Sonic around. Now she's a lot more of a character. She's much more of a character now than she ever was before. There's a lot more to her. She's not just blindly following Sonic around. I'm sure she still does love him. I'm sure she still has feelings for him, but she is not actively pursuing him. She has her own goals.
You turned out all right.
Aww! Yes, she did. I love that. But yeah. And Tails really shined in Chaos Island. He said it himself, how like one wrong turn and he tends to fall apart. That he's wildly inconsistent with how useful he can be. And I like how they addressed that. They acknowledged that, and he acknowledged that he wants to become better. He wants to mature. He wants to become a stronger person, so he's not constantly relying on Sonic all the time. And I like how all of them want to go their own separate ways from Sonic, and basically just, try to find themselves, try to better themselves. And I think that's wonderful. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with those characters moving forward. I already mentioned Sage and how much I love her character. One character, however, that really stood out in this game that I was not expecting to love as much as I did was Eggman. Eggman is just... We learned so much about him. We learned so much about Eggman in this game. With all of the egg memos, you learn about Maria and basically you learn Eggman's backstory essentially. How like after Maria died, everyone kept talking about Maria like she was super special, and he was right there. He was right there, and no one ever acknowledged him. No one ever acknowledged his existence, and he was always playing second fiddle to someone who was gone. But that said, it doesn't seem like he ever held any animosity towards Maria. It doesn't seem like he held any animosity towards Maria. It feels like he was more resentful at the rest of his family for just completely ignoring his existence in favor of a dead person. And yeah, I feel like that could drive anybody to insanity. I feel like that could drive anyone insane. So I do not blame him. I do not blame him for going a little crazy at that. Like, learning about that, like, that's pretty heartbreaking. That's pretty heartbreaking. And then you really see him, like, really start to care about Sage and think of her as a daughter. And this game humanized Eggman in a way that I never knew was possible. And it was just amazing. And Eggman has now become, like, one of my top 5 favorite Sonic characters. Like, easily in my top 5. So, yeah, he's become a wonderful character, and I'm so curious what they're going to do with him moving forward. Because, like, I don't know if they could have him be, like, a ruthless, evil dictator. I don't think they'd be able to do that. I don't think they'd be able to do that again, now that they've humanized him. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him moving forward, but I am very, very curious to find out. So, the characters, I would also give a 10 out of 10. So, that's 3 10 out of 10s for music, story, and characters. 10 out of 10 for all. 10 out of 10 for all 3 of those. Enemies, bosses, combat. That stuff. That's the next category. Love the combat. Love the combat. Love the boss. Love the bosses. Love the enemy variety. The Guardians are all really cool, and they provide a unique and interesting challenge. Each and every one of them. Some of them I like more than others, obviously. But I still have fun with them. I still have fun with each of them. I do really enjoy each of them. And I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. I love everything about the combat. The combat is wonderful. The combat, enemies, bosses, they're all fantastic. So, gameplay. The rest of the gameplay. The rest of it is just gameplay. I like the majority of the gameplay. I love running around. That is exactly what I always wanted in an open world Sonic game. I wanted to just be able to run around and be fast as Sonic. It's been just a dream of mine. It was a dream of mine for 24 years. So being able to do this, being able to actually have a game where I can do exactly that is a dream come true for me. So no problems there. And if that was all I had to say, then if that was all I had to say about the gameplay, then I would give that a 10 out of 10 as well and be done with it. Unfortunately, there is more to it. Some of the puzzles in the maps can be very tedious. The Kronos Island puzzle with the gravestones is just so annoying. It is so incredibly annoying trying to do that. I've done this like 8 times now. Twice throughout this series, but another 6 times as I played it on my own. And I still cannot do it by myself. I still cannot do it by myself without looking up a guide. Like, I have tried so many times. I do not like that. I do not like that puzzle. I hate that puzzle. That puzzle is awful. And the second island has some very awkward platforming. Ares Island has some really awkward platforming. It can be very difficult. Hello, Mark. Thank you for joining the stream. Ares Island can be very difficult to navigate. Trying to figure out how to get from one location to another on Ares Island can be a bit of a chore. It can take quite a while. Hello, hello, Sonic. Thanks for joining. So yeah, that's my complaint for Ares Island. For Chaos Island, honestly has the problems of Kronos Island and Ares Island mixed into one, and it is my least favorite island in the game. Because not only is it very difficult to navigate around, It also has the worst mini-games. It also has the worst sections in the game. Like, bar none, the absolute worst sections of the game. The section where you have to escape if you have to escape Knight's razor shield, and do all these different platforming. That is very like the hitboxes for everything is just so wonky. I swear, like I will land on the platform, but Sonic will just fall right through it, and then get hit, and then just die because the shield is an instant kill. Like the hitboxes in that section are just so wonky and make no sense, and I don't like it. And then there's the section where you have to get all the different parts, and that can be incredibly stressful, considering how quickly the platforms like to plummet, and how long it takes just to break the boxes while you're on a strict time limit. That's really stressful. I don't like that. And then there's also the bridge minigame. When you're just diving down, trying to make it all the way to the bottom before time runs out. And the time limit is so strict that if you get hit once, if you mess up once, you're guaranteed to fail. You have to do it perfectly. And even then, you're barely gonna get it. It's so bad. Those are awful. I do not like those sections in the slightest. They're the worst sections in the game, and they're all on Chaos Island. So it has the problems that both Kronos Island and Ares Island has, mixed into one. And that's why it's my least favorite island out of all of them. Aranos Island is my personal favorite. I love Aranos Island. I love the openness of Aranos Island. I love just how massive the island is. Aw. So, yeah, I would love to give the gameplay and exploration a 10, but the problems that I have with the first three islands bring it down. They honestly do bring it down. They do bring it down, and honestly, I would have to say an 8. Because they do bring it down, but it's not undoable. It is doable. It's just all that is stuff I can get through. It's just annoying and very tedious and irritating. So I would say an 8 out of 10. I would say an 8 out of 10 for the gameplay and exploration. And I guess I kind of have to give a rating for the cyberspace portals as well, seeing as how that plays a huge part in this game. With 30 cyberspace stages, all of them are really fun. All of them are really fun. Some of them are easier to S-rank than others. As you guys saw in throughout this whole playthrough, I was able to completely S-rank 22 out of 30 cyberspace stages, and that was like really that was really fun. I really enjoyed playing through all of the different cyberspace stages. Some of them are just a little too difficult to S-rank, at least for a casual player like me. But the cyberspace stages are still fun. They are still a good time. I still have fun with them. So I mean, I would give them. I would honestly give that a 9 out of 10. And if we're including that in the gameplay and exploration, then I guess that would boost that section up to a 9. But to be honest, I think I'll have them be separate sections, simply because like those Chaos Island puzzles really are just that bad. But yeah, so six different categories to rate this game off of. It got a 10 out of 10 in 4 categories, an 8 out of 10 in an 8 out of 10 in gameplay and exploration, and a 9 out of 10 for the cyberspace stages. All in all, I do see the problems. I do see the problems with the game. I see the problems with the game, and I see where they can improve. I see where they can improve with this game. But this has me very hopeful for the future of Sonic. And we know that this is the future of Sonic. Sega has already announced that these are the kind of games they're going to be making for Sonic moving forward. That this is the new era. The open zone era of Sonic. We have entered the open zone era of Sonic, and that has me so excited. I am so incredibly excited about that. So I hesitate to give this game a 10 out of 10 score because I know that there is room for improvement, and I'm hoping that the next game will improve on it, and it will finally give us a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to be giving it a 9 out of 10 score. I will be giving this game a 9 out of 10 score. I love this game. This is my favorite Sonic game, period. There is no contest. This is my favorite Sonic game. It beat Sonic Heroes. It beats Sonic Generation. It beats Sonic Generations. Absolutely love this game. This is my favorite Sonic game ever. And honestly, that's it. That's all I've really got. I've said my piece. We're past an hour and 2 minutes. I love this game. Absolutely adore it. Play this game if you haven't already. Play it. I urge you, play it. It is fantastic. With that said, that's going to do it for this episode and for this series. Thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. More games coming soon. Hopefully, I'm planning on getting around to starting either continuing Hogwarts Legacy or FNAF Security Breach later this week. I plan on continuing Hogwarts Legacy because I really do want to get back to that game. But in any case, that's going to do it for me. And thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next playthrough. Take care, everybody.